Well, I like Nickelback.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Yes. Welcome into the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. This is that show that you have downloaded and or, I don't know, found the app, the streaming app, Tim. Oh, my God, the thing.
It's almost here, Colby.
Woo! Get ready for all of that. I'm excited. You can tell because my nipples are out.
I can see him from here.
Woo!
Could cut glass with those things right now.
You're damn right.
Put that away.
What?
Put those away.
Oh, you know what? It's kind of hard to.
Jeez, I get it.
So, good God Almighty, we've got a show planned for you. But before we get into the intro part that Tim wanted to get into because he has a story, I'd like to thank all the people at Planet Fitness that showed up yesterday.
Uh-oh.
All of you. So what happened is it was chest and shoulders day. So I show up at the gym, and man, everybody is using everything that I want to use to the point to where I'm like, I've got to get this workout in. So I remember all the exercises that I knew worked out that I haven't, not my normal routine, right?
Yep.
So I went and started doing those. Oh, dear sweet Jesus. This morning when I woke up, it felt like I had extra people in my chest.
I hate when that happens.
I was so sore trying to move around, and the realization of is that, you know what, shake up your routine every once in a while and do something that you're not used to doing. That may get a little bit more results. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys at Planet Fitness that showed up to hog the machines without actually doing anything. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, Colby, I have to start the show with an apology. So for those of you that were tuned in at the end of the show Monday, there might have been a mishap in the studio that was confusing to all of us, as there was a certain stench floating around the studio.
Yeah.
And Colby didn't do it.
No.
Because he'll admit it when he does.
Yes, I sure will.
I didn't do it because I'll admit when I do it. And that one I'd have been pretty proud of, right?
Yeah, as a didn't knock you out.
But I'll tell you this. I got home later that night, Monday, and I did do it, and it smelled exactly the same. So I realized, wait, that might have been me in the studio. I just didn't know it.
So you had a squeaker.
I did.
And it just escaped without you. Maybe it was on a movement and you didn't know.
But man, I'm telling you, if I'd have known about it in the studio, I certainly would have fessed up to it because it was a good one.
Yeah, it was one of those that
tasted onions.
Yeah,
and ketchup.
Yeah, it's one of those to where, like, if you're working in this type of business to where you've got a microphone, you're live, everybody's watching, all that kind of stuff's going on, and it usually if you get a semblance of a fart or something, you don't point it out because you're trying to get to this next story. But when it's bad enough that I have to stop and go, was that your butt?
Man, the show stopped down. You're right.
Did you fart?
And I thought that was the drop because we have a drop that says that exact same thing.
Right.
That was so funny.
So
I was like, no, I was very confused. I was like, I don't think so. Because I usually know when I do.
Well, I mean, most people do know when they do. But man, and it was, you can usually tell your own flavor.
Yeah.
You usually can. Yep, that's mine. Pretty sure that's mine.
But dude, it was so bad Monday night when I got home. I just got out of the bathroom. I was in my room coming through because my bed is right next to my bathroom door. And I take my contacts out, get ready for bed, and I was like, I felt one coming on, so whatever. Wasn't an outstanding sounding one or anything. But about 30 seconds later, it almost knocked me out.
Yeah.
Colby, I had to leave my own room. And I evacuated the 2 dogs too because I feared for their lives.
Okay. You know it's bad Because normally your own fart doesn't affect you.
See, that's never been that way for me, though.
Really?
No, mine are just as bad as everyone else's to me.
If it's mine, it's fine. If it's somebody else's run, it's usually what.
You have a rhyme for it.
Yeah, it's usually what's the rule of thumb.
We got to get that on a shirt.
If it's mine, it's fine.
And what was the other part?
I don't think the other part rhymes.
I thought it did.
Well, you know what? That's the reason why you're a bad rapper.
I'm not a rapist at all, sir.
So there you go.
What's your worst fart that you've ever, like, somewhere professionally, or that you feared for your well-being, or maybe someone else did it? You can't count Monday.
No, you can't count Monday. No, I mean, the worst ones have been since I've done, like the high protein diets and such. Like, those have been the worst, but I haven't ever been in the situation where I was up at the fan where who was it we had on? I want to say it was Cody Rhodes that we had on.
Oh, no.
So the American Nightmare live in studio, and I am right next to him, and I think that the interview was over, and I get up, and I know everybody's getting up to leave.
Yep.
And he's to walk him out or whatever. And when I get up, it's a creaker. It's the every stepper, that's every time your butt moves, some more leaks out. And it was warm, and I knew, oh my God, it was bad, right? So now I'm trying to hurry up the shake hands and picture situation that I know is about to happen. And about the time it's time for, me to get the picture with Cody to happen, I have to decide I'm just going to have to skip this picture.
Yep.
Because I am carrying stink weight. And he's been in locker rooms, so I knew he would know what was going on, but I was like, I don't want to have to explain this.
Oh, God.
I don't want this to be the next segment story about how I farted on soon to be your WWE champion.
Oh, God.
So unified world heavyweight champion. That's the words I was looking for. So yeah, that was probably my worst situation.
So I'm pretty sure a fart cost me a job one time.
Oh, it actually got me fired.
Let's hear it.
I was working at Super Salad. I was 16 years old. And
forgot about those stores.
Yeah, so I was working, so I was the dish boy. Mm-hmm. And I didn't yet quite know how lactose intolerant I was. I just knew that sometimes my stomach acted funny when I ate cereal in the morning. I didn't know why. And needless to say, before I showed up there, I had a big bowl of Cheerios with full flavor milk, the whole cow. And that's when my body decided, you know what, buddy? You can't handle that.
Oops.
And so I went to the restroom, and you remember something about Mary, the bathroom situation that basically had his ass hovering over the toilet.
Yep.
With all of it. Most of it was gas.
Right.
That was coming out. And it was the butt trumpet was playing. And the walls were thin. And I got out of that bathroom, and everybody was looking at me. And later on that afternoon, they asked me not to come back.
Huh.
So.
Cost you a job.
Yeah.
So my story is similar, except I'm pretty sure it cost me getting the job.
Okay.
So I was in my probably mid-20s and got my securities and exchange license along with some insurance licenses, and I was headed downtown Dallas in a suit to interview for a job. And, even back then, dude, downtown, the parking, it's a nightmare. It took me forever to park. I was rushing. I was trying to get, up the freaking, of course, it's in a high rise.
Right.
Like the 30th floor. I run in, you got to sign in at the at the counter. And I'm like, man, I'm freaking running late. I get on the elevator and I hear, hold. So fine. Hold up. Elevator open. There's, dude dressed way better than me, briefcase. Hit 30 for me, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to 30. So we start going up. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, 29. So I hit 29. Right about the time I hit 29, dude, I couldn't hold it anymore because it hit me right about the time I was signing in. And it was an SBD. I mean, it was quiet, but dude, it rivaled last night or Monday night. And in an elevator with one other person, you can't do. I mean, what are you going to do?
You did it.
Yeah, it's obvious. Dude, I just turned over. I said, I'm sorry, man. I said, I'm sorry, man. Dude, he didn't say a word. He was not amused. He had his coat kind of over his arm, and he, put his coat up over his mouth and his nose like this. He got out, did not say a freaking word to me. I go up to 30, went and signed in, talked to the receptionist. She goes, it'll be a few minutes. So sat down. She came and got me about 5 minutes later. She goes, all right, well, the gentleman you're interviewing with is on a floor below us.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay. I go down a floor, went to that receptionist, asked for the guy's office as I'm here to interview. I go into the office, and guess who it was?
It's him.
Our eyes locked, and I don't know which one of us was more shocked, me or him. So I walked in. I'm just kind of standing there. He goes, Timothy? I was like, yeah. He just kind of grinned and shook his head. He goes, I think we're done here. I didn't even get to interview.
Wow. You farted on him in the elevator, and he didn't want to hire you.
I think we're done here. That's all I got. I think we're done here.
You stained your opportunity.
Who knows, Colby? That could have been my $1 million career. I could have made $1 bajillion in my life, maybe.
But your butt betrayed you.
Freaking fart betrayed me.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's the worst. God,
I'm sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude. The dude, he was not amused at all. And I just wanted to laugh. Because imagine as immature as I am now at 51, almost 52, imagine 25-year-old Tim.
Right.
Like the maturity level was even way less than it is now. But so, yes, watch out, boys and girls. Your butt can betray you quickly.
Careful who you fart on. That's the lesson today.
May be the key to your future. Yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask you, Colby.
Uh-huh.
You ever been to jail?
I have not been to jail.
You've never been arrested?
I have not been arrested.
Your whole life?
My whole life.
God, I feel like you haven't partied enough then. Like we need to fix that. Can we fix that maybe before the end of 2023?
Wait. How many times should I have gone to jail? That's quite a few times that I should have gone to jail. Did I? No.
So
the point is, Tim, not to be there when a particular lights and sirens start happening.
That is true. Reason I asked, Colby, so I may or may not have been arrested a few times. And I say a few because I'm not really sure of the number.
Right.
Some of them were as simple as, hey, you're in for an hour and they let you out, or wait till your dad gets here to pick you up and we'll let you go home.
Right.
One or two, maybe more severe offenses. Okay. I think the most time I ever stayed in an actual lockup situation was 4 or 5 days before they realized I was wrongly accused.
Okay.
But you don't get like money for it or anything.
No.
So Colby, I found a story I wanted to discuss because this is the kind of prison that I always dreamed about being in.
Oh, this is like Skinamax.
As over in the UK, 18 female guards and staffers were either fired or resigned from what is described as a cushy male prison for engaging in hookups and other steamy sessions with inmates.
Man,
I kind of want to go to jail now again.
No, well, I mean, here's the thing. I haven't even seen pictures of these ladies, but you have to realize that if you're in jail, then pretty much any garage that you can park your car in. It's a good garage. So
when you're there, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And you're usually expecting it to be maybe another dude.
Right.
So if the female garage presents itself,
damn right,
literally presents itself,
here it is.
Then of course you're going to take it, right?
You're not going to turn that down.
Oh, and Colby,
huh?
I'm looking at some of these girls,
right?
Because I haven't looked at them before. Because you know how I show prep, I just see an interesting
story
headline and I go with it. I don't,
right.
I don't read the story ahead of time. So I'm going to put some of these girls on the screen here.
Are we going to do Would Ya?
We're going to do Would Ya Prison Edition.
All right, Would Ya Prison and play along. Play along if you're watching.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah,
you know, quietly to yourself if you want,
or you can comment. I don't care.
Oh God, we got to get a picture of the freaking prison too.
Oh wow!
When they say cushy, man, they're not kidding.
This looks like a playland,
like a McDonald's playland.
Yeah. You got to get out of your top bunk with a slide.
God, how great would that be, man?
Amazing.
So apparently, I'm still stuck on looking at some of these girls. So the illicit activities at HMP Berwyn,
okay,
the UK's largest male prison, date back to when the facility opened in 2017 and have even resulted in 3 women facing jail time, according to the BBC and the Mirror.
What are they getting jailed for?
Well, one guard, or as they describe her, a smitten guard.
Okay.
Like I need a smitten guard in my life. Accepted money to smuggle a phone to a robber that was later used to help the pair exchange intimate snaps of each other.
Well, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to snap back unless he has a phone.
I mean, of course.
So,
I'm trying to capture these photos here as I do the story. So, guard Emily Watson had sex with a drug dealer who was in the prison for causing death by dangerous driving.
Okay. Now, there's plenty of people that have just passed on the road on the way here that probably had that same issue.
Yeah, I feel like that happens more often than not.
Right.
And she also performed a sex act on the inmate twice and had sex with him once while inside of his cell.
Okay, so we got some pencil sharpening and some bishop polishing, and then we have the actual inclined hokey pokey. Gotcha.
Probation officer Aisha Gunn had a rendezvous with an armed robber while the two were also swapping highly sexualized pics and videos.
Well, first of all, I mean, that's got to be something like if you're the inmate that's accomplishing this, you've now ranked, you've leveled up,
right?
You're bop, 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 bop. You're now, you ain't got nothing to do, and yet you got some nutting to do.
Literally,
so
some nutting to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Colby, first let me show you a picture of the inside of this cushy male prison.
All right, that's a prison.
That is a prison.
That looks like the entranceway to our studio.
It's nicer than the entranceway to our studio.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's go with, first I will show you a picture of Jennifer Gavin, who is the one.
Salute.
Who is the, right? Who was jailed for an intimate relationship. This would be Jennifer Gavin.
Okay.
Right? Like
what? I mean,
I've had worse.
What are you doing looking for love in all the wrong places?
I mean, they say not to dip your pen where you work in your ink home or whatever the saying is. You know, when they used to dip pens in inks.
Yeah, I mean, don't do stuff.
Don't do stuff at work. I mean, that's kind of what they say, right? And then here's the Emily chick.
Are they the same peoples?
No, different girls,
okay.
Right? But they look very similar.
Yeah.
I feel like the HR guy at this prison has a type.
Yeah, you think?
Let me get this one here also. As I'm dealing with
technical issues. I have a little bit of questions. So, I mean, obviously opportunity makes it to where these things happen. And so, that these ladies probably everywhere they've worked have found somebody that really, tickles their fancy.
Literally.
So they just found more people the HR guy has a type.
Right?
Has a type.
These are all 3 different women.
So because they're always around each other like a lot, do they end up being cycle sisters? And so like there's that 1 week and a half a month where everybody's like, crap.
No action this week or this weekend. Since 2019, 31 female officers in England and Wales have been dismissed over inappropriate interactions.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to have an all-male prison, which that's a good idea to have, you don't want to put everybody in the same place together. You probably shouldn't have female guards.
In an all-male prison.
Yes, because again, the dudes that are there are looking for anything that they can go ahead and stick happy in.
To park their car in the garage.
And the fact that all of these look like generic Scarlett Johansson stunt doubles.
A little bit.
That's not helping their situation. Can you imagine? And if they're going with the issued guard pants or police pants, those are almost like, nurse pants.
Man, I love a chick in scrubs.
Scrubs?
Oh my God.
And so these guys are in prison and not supposed to have any kind of, and then these ladies, man.
Let me tell you about this prison a little bit too, real quick.
All right.
The cells have no bars on the windows.
Of course, I mean, they didn't look like they did.
Inmates are allowed to have televisions, laptops, and phones.
Is this a Holiday Inn?
The prison also has a sports hall, a fitness room, and outdoor spaces for inmates that they can access at any time.
Does anybody else want to go to the UK and do some crime?
Like, I want to go have sex in a prison.
I just want to go. I mean, that's a couple of years vacation, right?
I mean, okay.
So I've got Wi-Fi. I don't really have a job I've got to go to. I can eat. There's a gym and I have a TV.
Educational programs are also offered to get your degree.
And I can school. Not that I'd choose that because I about as much self-help as I can already do myself.
Well, if you're doing things the right way, you ain't got time for schooling because you're too busy banging.
You're banging and watching TV and grabbing stuff out of the refrigerator while you're lifting weights.
I mean, like, huh.
I mean, that jail sounds better than the way a lot of people live. I mean,
I'm seriously considering going to prison.
You had to go to the UK to get into this prison.
Yeah, does anybody ever really want to go to the UK?
I mean, obviously we're finding out reasons why we should have.
By the way, live updates here. Remember what we opened the show with, the topic of discussion just a minute ago?
Yeah.
All right, I may be guilty right now.
Good thing you're in that room.
I kind of want to leave this room right now. I kind of want to get out of here right now.
You're gassing yourself out.
I've never worn a mask since 2020 and I don't intend to ever, but I might want something over my face right now.
Just going with a shirt mask.
I'm tasting ketchup.
It's time for the shirt mask.
Are you ready, Colby?
I am ready. This is that segment where I go through all the people that were born today, find the people that are famous enough to me to make my list, and then I issue them to you, for you and Tim and myself to tell us who's the good person, who's the bad person, and who's the ugly person. Starting off, and man, this is a wrestler that even one IndyCarTim should know.
We'll see.
And if he doesn't know, then I'm going to be really disappointed.
All right.
Turning 79 today, and may have been the gentleman that first learned me about the old hip toss. We won Iron Sheik.
Colby, I do remember the Iron Sheik
and the camel clutch.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
He was a bad guy, but also one of the hardest workers in the wrestling industry, and also really one of the guys that you could get into the ring with, and he would make you look like you knew what you were doing.
Right.
So Iron Sheik is 79 years
He was on that world-class championship wrestling
He was.
that I used to watch. From the Sportatorium in downtown Dallas.
54 years old today, one Mark McGrath.
Gross.
So there's him.
I just want to fly.
It sounded a little better than what.
Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. I hate that song.
Turning 67 years old today, one D. Snyder.
Uh-oh. Colby D. Snyder.
Yes.
I want to rock.
I always sang that as going back to misunderstood lyrics as like, I want two rocks. I want two rocks. So
Nice.
yeah, so there's that. And my favorite thing to do while playing any game that involved capture the flag or whatever,
Yep.
When you got the flag and you're heading back to base, it was my favorite thing to sing was "We're not gonna make it." No, we're not gonna make it. So
Those aren't the lyrics.
I know they're not, but I always felt like we weren't gonna make it. So there you are.
Awesome.
Judd Hirsch turns 87 years old today.
Dude, one of my all-time favorites, Judd Hirsch.
So you can find. I mean, he was great in Independence Day.
He was great in Taxi.
Of course, he was great in Taxi. I was just, yeah. I mean, if you don't know Judd Hirsch from Taxi, then well, you're really young.
By the way, one of the funniest shows that has ever been on TV. Taxi.
It was pretty funny.
I mean, I still see like clips of it on roll up on TikTok that people post, funny moments from whatever shows, and
Right.
the Taxi ones with Jim, Christopher Lloyd, for those of you that are Back to the Future fans. Yes, he had a career before Back to the Future. He was on Taxi before his hair was all silver. One of the funniest characters ever, man.
So Jai Courtney turns 36. John McClane's kid, and also Captain Boomerang. So
Not familiar.
uh
Jai's kind of a cool name, though. I like that.
oh yeah.
I had a friend named Jai when I was in elementary school.
You saw the second Suicide Squad, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy with
Right,
the boomerangs.
right.
That's him.
Gotcha.
Now one of your banshees that you should look out for in the world of metal, not the number one on this list, is Lindsay Gunnifson. She turns 28 and really good, lead metal vocalist.
Lindsay Gunnifson.
Yes.
Do I need to look her up?
You might want to.
All right.
It's Gunnifsessen. I mean, not bad. Brett Michaels is 59, by the way.
Is she also called Lynn Gunn?
Yes.
Okay, then I found her. Yeah, she's not bad. I mean, I kind of like the purple hair.
That's on and off.
Yeah.
If it's purple or not. But yeah, no, there she is.
And apparently she bats for the same team she plays for.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. All right.
Mark.
What was the last one you just said?
Brett Michaels.
Oh, come on, Colby. Like you underscored that a little bit here.
59.
Really?
Well, dude, as far as rock and roll, today's pretty good. So,
it is, man. Big time.
Mark Hoppus is 50 from that Blink 182 band.
Colby, I cannot name one Blink 182 song. Can you?
Yes, I can. Hold on. Brain is farting around.
Yeah, don't bring it in here.
Yeah, no, I'm not attempting to go in there. What's my name again? I remember that song. There's a few others that I would have been able to remember if my brain file cabinet for Blink 182 would open. Andrew Jackson, the president, not the country star, died in 1845. His birthday's today.
There's a country star named Andrew Jackson.
I think so.
I think you're thinking of Alan Jackson.
Probably. I'm not the biggest country fan.
Somebody asked to see a picture of Lynn Gunn.
Okay.
Trying to find one suitable for broadcast. Here, this is probably pretty good here. Throw it up there. Keep going.
All right. Ava Longoria is her birthday today, and I forgot to write down her age. So,
Ava Longoria, infielder for the Rays for a long time.
No.
No?
What
am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Evan
Longoria.
Yeah, Ava's.
They're not the same person?
No. One of them was Lois Lane for a little bit.
She was Lois Lane in what?
Super Clark and Lois, or Lois and Clark.
Adventures of Lois and Clark?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that was Terry. What's her Hatcher?
Okay, then she's in something. She was also like, when this is the one that was with one of the Spurs.
Yeah, she was married to Tony Parker.
Yes, and she was what was
Desperate Housewives.
There we go.
But Terry Hatcher was, I think, in that one too. Maybe they're scissor sisters.
Maybe so. I don't. They look about the same. So there's.
All right, here's your Lynn Gunn.
Yeah,
it's kind of hot, Colby. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, well, I would think you would be like also kind of mannish.
Kind of digging that.
All right.
I think more chicks should shave the sides of their head.
Will.i.am is 47 years old.
Okay, can we just call him William?
No, because it's Will.i.am.
Why do you get to put periods in the middle of your name and to change the pronunciation of it?
Because it's his name.
So what if I put a period between the T.I. and the M.M.? What do I become then?
I don't know. What do you think that says?
T.M.
All right, then I guess we have to call you T.M.
Please don't. It seems terrible.
Well, this was his choice, and if he wants to be called that, that's fine. That's his name. This is one of the things that actually kind of irritates me. He's like, you can't be named that. You got to be named this. No. It's your effing name. So you can be named whatever you want to. You could. Prince is a symbol. Great. So call him a symbol then.
I was just about to bring that up. What's worse, being called just a symbol or Will.i.am? Is his name even William in real life? Do we even know this?
No, because his name is Will.i.am, and that's really all I care about.
Colby, the world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Lil Dicky's 34.
What the hell is that?
Oh man, you need to look up Lil Dicky. He's hilarious. He's a really good rapper.
Oh, he's a rapist.
But he's also probably looks the farthest from what you would think a rapper should look like. He looks like kind of like Weird Al Yankovic's kid.
See what Little Dicky looks like.
So
Lil Dicky, like L-I-L or little?
L-I-L, Lil Dicky.
I see Lil Darky.
That's
not him. I'm serious. Look, I typed Lil in Google search. I get Lil Nas X, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Baby, Lil Wayne, Lil Darky, Lil Durk, Lil Peep, and Lil Yachty.
Put in Lil Dicky. Tell you to put in Lil Uzi Vert.
I just typed Lil, and those are the ones that came up. Lil. Oh, there it is. An American rapist. Oh, I've seen him in things before.
He's good.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a rapist at all.
And finally, turning 35 years old today, the goddess of metal, the queen of the Banshees, the lady that makes, well, I listen to her every single day because she's part of my favorite band, the Ukrainian metal band Ginger. It's Tatiana Shmayluk's birthday today.
Dude, she is a good.
She's the only good on this list for me out of all of them, and I like some of the others.
There's a lot of goods here,
but it's. I mean, I almost wanted to do just a segment just about her, but I couldn't think of a whole thing to really spiel out that I haven't already said. Just one of the greatest metal vocalists I've ever heard.
Dude, she is good in so many ways.
Her range is incredible.
I don't know why I just got creepy voice right now.
You totally did.
I totally got creepy voice just then. Like, pervert creepy voice.
Yeah, it went a little far, man. It went a little far.
The fact that I recognized it, like, I don't know, let's put a picture of Tatiana up here, shall we? In honor of her.
The new look she's rocking with at the concerts right now is the neon outline look.
Oh, I bet that's awesome. on her.
Man.
Here's the great Tatiana.
Damn right.
Colby. I'd like to go to prison with her.
She's a good. She is definitely good.
She
Happy
is a
birthday,
good.
Tatiana.
Tatiana-ham.
I mean, whatever. As long as she'll still keep singing and rocking out, I am good to go. But if you end up making her change her music, I will kill you.
Oh, I like her music.
I mean, if being with you changes something about her music, I will.
She might get more into ballads.
I'll kill you.
Some love songs, Colby,
You'd be dead.
as it were. Well, it wouldn't be my fault.
No, it would be, because that would be the change that happened.
I change women, though. That's what I do.
Well, then,
Women fall for me and their lives are never the same.
right,
Either because I put a baby all up inside of them or I just broke their heart.
right, which is now
Or both.
now been the latter, because you refuse to do that, and that's the reason why they leave.
How about sometimes both?
Woo! Hello, inside.
Yeah, very inside.
How's it doing? All right, so Tim,
Colby,
your GBU for
my
today.
GBU from today. Man, there's so many goods here.
There really is.
But I always try to pick a chick when I can as a good, because chicks are better than dudes,
Okay.
especially hot chicks. And I really liked Lynn Gunn. But of course, I have to go with Tatiana as my good. There's no way I can't. If she found out I did not pick her as a good,
She wouldn't care.
she would never go out with me again.
Okay.
She may not even answer my calls and texts anymore after that.
Right.
We can't have that. D. Snyder could have been a good. Iron Sheik could have been a good. Brett Michaels would have been my default good if there wasn't hot chicks on here, because he is a god to me. All right. Poison, one of my favorite bands of all time. Talk dirty to me. My bad. Well, I have to go with William, because you just have an idiotic name. So he's my bad.
Well, I am.
I can't, whatever his name is.
I'm going to go with just because of his name over your obvious hatred for Mark McGrath.
Yes, because Mark McGrath isn't as bad because he has an actual name.
Okay.
With no decimal points. Can't have decimal points and dollar signs in a name.
I mean, you can if it's your name.
It's when Kesha became relevant, was when she took the dollar sign out of her name.
I think she lost a lot of her relevancy.
I don't know that she ever was. And then my ugly Colby, out of all of these people, going with Mark McGrath.
Okay.
I got to have him on the list somehow.
All right. I think he was a guest model for a little bit. So
probably.
Yeah. My good, of course, is Tatiana, and there's no explanation needed. My bad is, well, yeah, I've got to go with Mark McGrath on the bad.
On the bad, yeah. See, I can't disagree with that either.
And it's not that I don't particularly like his two songs that they had. Everybody else that's on here really kind of is better than him. And my ugly is, it's Iron Sheik, of course. Dear sweet God, his head looked like it was a member of, or three different heads put together.
He was pretty ugly.
So there you go. Even though he was wrestling greatness, he wasn't wrestling greatness because he was parody. So there's my good, bad, and ugly. So
you know what I think we should start doing for this, and it's really all me, because I know you do it right before the show. You get your GBU ready.
Right.
I need it ahead of time so I can pre-download pictures of people.
Okay.
I think it would go a little smoother on the video portion. What do you think?
Hey, no, that exactly would help out. We can certainly do that. I can at least hand it. I mean, I can do it earlier than in the day.
Well, I mean, no, in between this and golf, I should have enough time. It's not, it doesn't take long.
Well, I had the list done after y'all were done with golf. So
okay,
there you are.
Well, then y'all tune in for Mondays, Good, Bad, and Ugly. We'll have preloaded photos of things
We would play also music along with it, but then we'd lose something because it's YouTube.
Stupid YouTube.
Stupid.
By the way, for those of you on Rumble, Colby, are you familiar with Rumble?
No.
It's a YouTube alternative with no no boundaries. No, you can do whatever you want.
Really?
What do they call that? User agreement or something? I forget.
Right.
Yeah, but we're on that too now.
Okay.
We have a channel on Rumble. Y'all look up FanStream Sports on Rumble if you're on Rumble and give us a follow. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it either. Somebody recommended it, and I went over there and like, yep, we'll do it.
All right. Well, you know what? I guess I'll see what's on old Rumble.
Rumble.com.
All right then.
Org. Edu. Colby, it is time for a little sports report here on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show, as we had some big NFL things happen today. Here locally, nationally. The big story nationally, of course, Aaron Rodgers.
Discount double check.
One of the most miserable human beings that's ever existed on the planet Earth, and maybe even counting other planets. Stupidly recently said, I don't know if you saw this, but he says, yeah, I'm arguably the greatest living ever Green Bay Packer.
You know what?
You're going to agree with him, aren't you?
He's not wrong.
No, he's not even close.
Did he say arguably?
He said arguably.
Okay, then he's right.
No, he's wrong. He's not even close to the greatest Green Bay Packer of all time.
That's living.
Living or dead.
No, he said that's living.
Maybe I threw the living in there. I don't know if he said living.
He's still in the argument.
Man, I still got stomach things happening right now.
I mean, as much of an a-hole as you want to call him, he is in that argument.
I guess. But you don't say that. Right? You just don't come out and say that. You're just a D word.
I mean,
you're such a D.
I mean, if your natural person is to just accept and be humble, then yeah, you don't say that. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, then I would expect him to say that.
Such an idiot. I can't stand him. So he's going to the Jets apparently. As he said, he was 90% retired before he went to his darkness retreat.
Okay.
He came out of his darkness retreat
and said, I'm going to be a Jet.
Colby, I've just been informed via a text message. Breaking news, apparently explaining my stomach situation. A girl just texted me, it's from me, you have AIDS. But the AIDS is not an acronym for what you think. It stands for after intense drinking S's.
Okay.
Which she's not wrong.
Well, I mean.
So I'm glad I know what it is now.
Here I thought the breaking news was going to be somebody like got traded or the Cowboys signed somebody, and it was just you having an AIDS joke.
It wasn't a joke. I actually got a text message that said that. I'll show it to you to prove.
You don't have to show it to me to prove. That's just, I mean, I was intrigued. I was about to hit the breaking news sounder, which I guess is this duck, which didn't air.
Oh, try it again.
Worst breaking news sounder ever.
Well, it's probably equal to the actual urgency of the breaking news that I broke.
Right.
But no, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. And he's playing his hand with the Jets, too, because before he agreed to go, he said, you got to go get my receivers. So they just signed Alan Lazard.
Right.
They're going after Randall Cobb. And now you've got Aaron Rodgers. Does this immediately make them Super Bowl contenders?
I mean, it makes them in the hunt.
I think so, right?
It does, just because, I mean, first of all, you're looking at the rest of the people that are in that division. I mean, it's the Dolphins, right? That you're kind of scared about.
Oh, Buffalo.
I don't know how much Buffalo scares me right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of there too, because last season I put Josh Allen as a top 3 receiver in the receiver. That would be something to watch.
Right.
Quarterback in the league. Dude, I don't know, after watching his performance, especially in the playoffs, dude, I don't know if he's the top 10 quarterback in the league right now.
I'm worried about the downfall because the spike up was so rapid for Josh Allen.
Yep.
And then it felt like everything was really easy for him. And like the slide down could be just as dramatic. So,
I mean, I would definitely don't put him on the same level as Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes.
No, that's your best of your best right there right now. But so, yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Dolphins do, especially at that quarterback position. But yeah, I mean, the Jets were holding their own with, tape and schlap for quarterbacks. Now they actually have somebody that knows how to read a defense and throw a football. Well, man,
that's crazy, right?
That's dumb.
I mean, he'll be 39 next year, so I don't know how much time he's going to have left, but
well, he can still punch and Judy a football down the field, which is what the Jets need with the way they play. So
yeah, for sure. Colby, also something has finally happened that we all saw coming locally here with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, and one Ezekiel Elliott has been cut.
I was surprised by the maneuver today.
Not so much that it happened, but that it happened today, right?
Yeah, I mean,
with you.
There was part of me that was expecting, him to have a shot at playing for a lesser salary here with the Cowboys, but I kind of started shutting up on that once I heard that his camp thought that he could get more money somewhere else.
Yep.
And
now we'll find out.
Yeah, and with that being out there now, that the Cowboys did him a favor. For those that think that the Cowboys did something that against Zeke to get him out of the room or whatever, that's not it. It was to announce it here, but the cut's happening for the June 1st cut. And so they're letting him get out there, and since everybody knows it, and as soon as it hits the wire, he's able to start talking to teams. And that way he can talk to them and have more opportunity to play somewhere else. If they waited till June 1st, which you would do if you hated the guy and wanted, were mad at him for some reason,
right?
Then you would have waited till June 1st and go, by the way, you're cut.
Yep.
So this is the best way they could make this situation go for both Zeke and the Dallas Cowboys, because they get the most money from cutting him.
Yep.
And he's able to go find another place to play, like Tampa or, I don't know, the Jets, I guess, the Bills, anybody else that might be looking for that, second back to pay good money to.
So there's two things here about Zeke that I wanted to bring up. I don't want him to be remembered for the Zeke that we saw the last 2 years.
Right.
Sort of, no more tread on the tires, and maybe he's hurt a little, whatever that guy is. That's not who Zeke was. That's not the legacy he left here in Dallas. He is also not the guy that would played center for his very last play as a Cowboy.
Oh, dear.
For that disaster of a final play against San Francisco in the playoffs, in the divisional round. Look, he's not that guy. It's not his fault, okay? He didn't call the play.
Right.
He didn't design the play. At least I don't think he did.
Well, he might have, and that may be the reason why he was not a future offensive coordinator.
Maybe that's why he got cut, because that was his idea.
Yeah. Let's go run this play.
So, Colby, I would rather like to remind everybody here, is I put together a little video about Zeke and the good old days. So let's watch.
Their first drive of the second half. Begins with Elliott breaking it into the secondary, and it's a foot race, and he will not be touched.
I was at this game with the Bengals fan.
Elliott to the outside. Look at that. Well, we talked about the hurdles. Yep, he won the 110 meters. Setting up a screen for Elliott with blocking.
This one's great.
Yep.
Elliott into Steeler territory, down the sideline, and in for the touchdown, no flags. It's Elliott.
I was watching this one, too. That one won the game.
Damn right.
No flags. Cowboys lead. 9 seconds left.
I'm going to get chills a little bit.
Bulldogs number 1 in the country. Here's
The nipples are hard.
Elliott in the secondary. Glover Quinn trying to run him down and running out of time. It's a touchdown for Elliott. Game 1 of the World Series. Take it one way, throw it the other way to Ezekiel Elliott. He races down the sideline.
That speed, man.
Well, he had it all.
No, he doesn't have it anymore.
It's a penalty, and it's a big one.
Stop
Now
him.
they're going to set it up to Elliott. Tries to get to the edge. Just so. Ezekiel Elliott on his way. Diving. Touchdown. Got hurt on that last play. And Elliott doesn't care. He breaks three into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's how I want everyone to remember Ezekiel Elliott, because that's the guy that we drafted. That's the guy who, as I put up another thing here on the screen, 10,598 total yards for the Cowboys, 72 touchdowns, 80.2 rushing yards per game. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Two rushing titles, 3-time Pro Bowler, and 1 All-Pro. And, don't forget, Zeke and Dak came into the league the same year, 2016. And as this JPA football here, the tweet I have up on the screen, they both came to Dallas and rejuvenated a Cowboys franchise and a fan base that needed hope. That is 100% accurate. I think everybody was, Romo had been here 10 years by then, and I think everybody was just kind of knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
We're kind of there now. Again.
There is so much reason for hope this coming season. I'm not even going to get into it right now. But this is man, Tim, I am right there with you as far as everybody that's if you're staring at social media and you're seeing all the things and all the people that are happy that the Cowboys did this, and if you're upset at the Cowboys for doing this, I also have a few words for you as well, because we've begged the Cowboys to not hold on to players too effing long and to not just show so much dedication to players even after their prime. And it took a little bit longer, but this is not a semblance of the old Cowboys. This is kind of the new, like when they got rid of Dez situation. They knew it was about time for their careers to be, pretty much over with, and, let the talented player go. Those of you that are happy that because Zeke this, Zeke that, and that he's gone, I'm sad that his career with the Dallas Cowboys is over. I'm glad that the Dallas Cowboys decided to move on. They will miss his leadership in the locker room. But I really, really did enjoy watching Zeke's career with the Cowboys, not just that highlight film, but him out there. And you can tell when he's giving everything he's got, even if he comes in, to camp or what have you, a little bit like he had too much off season. He still, once the bell rang, it was time to go. You knew Zeke was giving everything that he had to the team and never quit, and that kind of talent. And so, yeah, appreciated his time here.
Yep. And
you know what? Whoever he goes and plays for, unless it's another NFC East opponent, when he's playing and he's not playing the Cowboys, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be rooting for him.
Yep.
Good guy.
Not going to be on my fantasy team, though.
No.
Probably not. So, yeah, let's remember the good things about Zeke. And then finally, in Cowboys news, I guess if you want to call it their big free agent signing splash, because I really thought Wednesday, I thought the Cowboys were, or Monday, I thought the Cowboys were asleep a little bit. Thought maybe Jerry and Steven just overslept, and that's why they missed all the big signings.
Okay.
And then yesterday, they come up with Stephon Gilmore for a 5th rounder, right?
For a 5th rounder. Man, I was super excited to see this.
I was, and we talked about it a little bit off the air. It doesn't do a lot for me. I don't hate it. It just, the guy's 32. His best years are obviously behind him. But on the other side of that card, he's better than anything else that we had here other than Diggs. And he's going to play opposite Diggs. So that's fine. But my only concern, or my only issue with this is then today, the Eagles released Darius Slay. I would much rather have had Darius Slay.
I don't. And it's not because of a talent issue, or I don't think, I think one player is that much better than the other one. It's not that. It's the fact that with Gilmore, you're looking at, basically a year that he's going to play for you till his contract's out.
Right.
And he's either playing for that next contract or to cement his legacy, whatever he's doing, he's got incentive to play well.
Right.
And he played well last year with the Colts. He really did. And so to have him out there as a cover corner, as well as a guy that will get you the ball occasionally on the other side of Diggs, I love the way that looks. And plus, once, his contract's done, that's when you got to go pay other people anyway.
Right.
So you get to hopefully draft another corner this year, or something happens with not the boss man or whoever, but anybody else that you have, you can elevate them and let them, learn some more as that other corner, and you'll have some of the money to pay some of these guys that'll be there after that. So I think this is a type of, we're going for it this year because they put money into this year without having it also count for future.
Right.
So I like that, because you look at, now for me, this makes cornerback like one of the more solid positions that they have, because you're talking about Bland and in the slot, and then Jordan Lewis, once he comes off injury, is there available as a backup.
And they just re-signed Donovan Wilson.
And you got Donovan Wilson. And so that shores up. And also
almost said Donovan Lewis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like pickled pig's feet. That was the worst Norm that's ever.
That was,
happened.
yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. I mean, I couldn't find my Kermit in time, because it's usually find your Kermit and then you could find your Norm.
Then you got Norm.
But no, I love this move. And then really the only thing you have left for me on the defensive that I'd like to see kind of move up a little bit is that defensive line. Not the ends. I think their ends are
the
fine.
interior line.
I'd like to see that a little bit. And if you get that, then I think this defense is, especially with DQ at the helm, I think there's nothing else that you could possibly do as far as shopping for it.
They're talking about bringing Dante Fowler Jr. back too, which would be great. Again, that's on the end, but
right.
So we'll see what happens. We'll take a break.
Sure. Coming up next, ranking the Catwomen and the hero, not just random terms Tim calls women. Also, China has some wormy rain, and a couple sues the fertility clinic. And then I have news and notes that involves a penis. That's all coming up on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show.
Mainstream sports. Nothing but pure sports.
Jeeves Law Group. I've known Scott Jeeves for quite some time, and he's just like us, a huge college football fan. He loves his Gators. In fact, he sponsors our Gator Report every Thursday at 11 o'clock with Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. But he's not just another PI attorney. He is a ferocious advocate for his clients. Scott Jeeves is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator practicing in Tampa Bay for over 30 years. He is an AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer and certified circuit court mediator. Folks, these designations are not just given out. They're given only to the best trial attorneys. But more than anything, Scott takes these cases personally. I've heard it from his clients. He's a fighter you want on your side. Insurance companies hate it when they see you're represented by Jeeves. He's just different. 727-894-2929 or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. That's JEEVES lawgroup.com and tell him JP sent you. Now is the time to make sure your home insurance is in order. In the last year, many of us have made improvements to our homes. So call the folks at Italiano and discuss these upgrades to make sure you have enough coverage. According to a recent report, almost 64% of homeowners don't have enough insurance on their home, which is their most valuable asset. Also, a great time to make sure you have flood insurance. Even if your mortgage company does not require flood insurance, your home could still be at flood risk. Another big item as we enter hurricane season is making sure your pool enclosure is added to your policy and there will be no issue at claim time. That happens a lot. So call your friendly agent at Italiano Insurance to review your policies today. 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Hey, folks, it's still engagement season, and where better to get that special ring than the Gold and Diamond Source? The Gold and Diamond Source has the largest selection of engagement rings in the country, a literal jewelry super center with 30 times the inventory of any normal jeweler. You don't have to wait to spend any extra time waiting for them to bring something in. They have everything right there in-house, so why go anywhere else? And you can get up to 15% off this January if you buy something with the birthstone, which is garnet. Garnet and gold, Florida State, get something for your favorite Seminole. And let's not forget the Emily collection from Emily Johnson Weintraub. Very affordable, real gold and diamond jewelry, always stylish and unique. Emily has created this fashion-forward gold, diamond, and gemstone jewelry line ideal for everyday wear. Each piece is designed to enhance your look by featuring eye-catching, modern, geometrical shapes. Really unique stuff. Got to check it out. And, of course, Julie and Steve Weintraub, great benefactors here in the local community. So let's keep it local. And you can get 0% financing for up to 5 years. Get a big ring for a little price. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Attention, if you are home shopping or looking for a refinance, and even if you already have the approval letter, you must call my man Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Scott has a brand new program available in the greater Tampa Bay area called the Community Advantage Loan Program. Get this, no money down, no mortgage insurance, no points, no origination fee, purchase or refinance, and loan amounts up to $647,000. Now, there are some application requirements. It must be a single-family home, 1 unit, primary residence, and have a minimum 640 credit score. The program only applies to certain neighborhoods, so you have to call to find out if you qualify. So call Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Now, even if you don't qualify for that program, Scott will shop your loan around, get you the best rates, and won't charge you the huge upfront fees. And if you've had issues with your bank calling you back, Scott will return calls immediately or at least the same day. 813-294-7595 or email him, scott@amstampa.com. Scott Fitzgerald, MLS 386722, American Mortgage Services, 1000 North Ashley Drive, Suite 1020, Tampa, Florida.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship returns this March 16th to the 19th with 4 days of golf action plus the host of fun activities that make it Tampa Bay's hottest spring sports ticket. Sam Burns, who won in a thrilling playoff last year, is looking to make it 3 wins in a row on the Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort. He will be challenged by a top field that includes Jordan Spieth, returning for the first time in 5 years. The 2015 Valspar champ counts 13 PGA Tour victories, including 3 majors in his career. It will be a great field and great fun. Tickets are on sale now at ValsparChampionship.com for all tournament days, both grounds tickets and premium ticket options. You don't want to miss the 2023 Valspar Championship.
JP here for Italiano Insurance. If you've started a side hustle during COVID and the business has grown, well, you need business insurance, because if you get sued, you could lose all your personal wealth if you're not properly protected. That's right. Your home, your savings, everything could go. So get protected now. Call the great agents at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799, and a real human will answer the phone and get you protected. If you haven't shopped your business insurance in a while, you could be overpaying by thousands. One customer had their golf buddy handling his business insurance, then called Italiano to shop it around, and they saved him $26,000 a year. Yeah. So call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Italiano Insurance, protecting all the pieces of your life for over 60 years.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the IndyCarTim and Colby Sapp show. No, I said it backwards. Welcome to the Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show, live from the FanStream Sports Studios here in Dallas. Coming at you here on a Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us wherever you're joining us from, whether you're watching us live on one of the many video streams that we have going right now or on your favorite podcast app. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got a fun one here. Colby, I found a thing for you. I thought maybe you could have some fun with too.
Okay.
I know your love of Catwomen.
All right. My love of Catwoman, the character, because of her DC prowess, and also because she's really one of those badasses nobody really counts on as being the badass.
Right.
She has the exact amount of superpowers as Batman.
Yeah.
None.
But she's hotter.
She's out there kicking ass.
But she's hotter, so more fun to look at, including the Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh my God.
Well, that's
Sorry, we'll get back to the show here.
Found it.
So I found a list. And it's not from Ranker. It's not from one of those, weird ranking sites. It's from a sports site called Fansided,
Okay.
oddly enough, but they ranked all what they considered 9 Catwomen actresses from worst to best.
Oh, all right.
So then I asked Colby to make his own list
I do, and it's right in front of me.
so that we could compare and he could sort of comment and say, they're wrong. Because he does that a lot, at least to me.
Well, I mean, maybe my opinion counts in this one arena.
So they have it number 9 on their list. Think about some production value, but I don't really have any music. An actress, and this is a show I did not watch. We talked about this before we came on the air. Gotham.
Okay.
They mentioned that Gotham's decision to jump forward 10 years in its series finale brought with it a lot of change that limited the show's use of the younger cast members. So they had to bring in, I guess, another actress for this to play Selena. Was that her name?
Yeah, Selena Kyle.
Because of course it was 10 years later. But they said Lily Simmons, I guess, is number 9. And she was the older one, right?
Yeah, she was the older one.
I mean, I'm kind of looking at her. She's pretty hot.
Lily Simmons, as you know what, didn't even make my list.
Okay. And I kind of didn't think that would for sure.
So I don't know where the other 9 that they have now. Cameron Bicondova?
Bicondova, yeah.
Yeah, she did make my list. So
okay.
I could, it was one of those to where she played the Selena Kyle character so well that it's etched in my mind of, if you're going to do a Selena Kyle in a movie or a TV series, it has to be based on the attitude and such that she had as for Selena as a teenager.
And the number 8 on our list, and dude, I have to be very honest, I don't remember this ever happening.
Okay.
Which is odd, because I would think that I would, because especially in 2004, and there's a movie called Catwoman that stars Halle Berry as Catwoman.
How did
I not remember this?
That's my number 9. That's my number 9 Catwoman. And that's however long I was going to make this list. If I included people that did like the animated cat and voiced her, they would all be ahead of her. This Catwoman was horrible.
It says that it was overwhelmingly negative response to the film itself. Critics called it one of the worst comic book inspired movies of all time. So was the movie bad? Was her performance bad, or just all of the above?
If they would have put her in a different movie, I would have probably had a different opinion.
Okay.
The fact that they gave Halle Berry's Catwoman actual powers.
Oh, did they? Okay.
And like her origin was just so messed up, and what they did, it was bad. It was bad CGI, even for the time. It was bad everything. And then the stories of her, because of her protein diet, in order to be able to make it, made people flee the shoot because of, she's got to get in this super tight leather situation. So I understand that, but for those stories to make it out, where it's like, it was so bad, people had to leave.
I mean, I can relate.
So,
in another one that I don't remember, maybe just because I didn't pay attention to these Batman movies, I guess, so much. At number 7, they have Anne Hathaway.
Yes, she's actually number 4 on my list.
Wow.
She played a really good Selena Kyle. And the Catwoman, they showed her and her cat burglar prowess a little bit, but it was mostly just fighting the hordes of Bane and those, taking over Gotham. But it was a good Catwoman. It was. So obviously don't have any problem if she's number 4.
Was she so this is the Dark Knight saga, right?
Yeah, this is the third in the Dark Knight, which was supposed to have been the return of Joker, but they had to do something else because what happened with Heath Ledger.
What happened with Heath? Oh, when he died?
He passed.
Oh, because he died before the movie came out, right?
I think it was just right after it came out, or it may have been before.
Like right around the same time, at least. Number 6, Colby, on their list. You've already mentioned her on yours. Carmen Bicondova.
I have her number 3 on my list.
And she's looking at the picture. She's kind of hot. Do I need to watch Gotham?
I thought Gotham was done really well. it was basically it had little Bruce Wayne, and you got to see a little bit more of how talented Alfred is, because in most canons he's a former like SAS agent and such, and just ends up with the Waynes.
Right.
But yes, got to see how cool Alfred really is, and then just finding out about they grew all the villains for you, and let you see where they came from. So
number 5 on Fansided's list, Colby, she's probably number 2 on my, or 3 on my list. I didn't make an official list. Eartha Kitt,
number 5 on my list.
I mean, this is from my youth, obviously.
Right. One of the 3 that was West Catwoman.
So number 1, and I don't know where she is on here, but I'm sure she will be, was Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar, number 6 on my list.
Dude, I still to this day, man, I can melt looking at Julie Newmar.
And Lee Merriweather.
Who went on later in the 70s to star on Barnaby Jones.
So there you are.
Eartha Kitt, number 5. Man, she's good looking. Number 4 on their list, Colby, the aforementioned Lee Merriweather.
Okay. Yeah, definitely there.
No problem with that one, right?
I have no problem.
And she was a looker back in the day, too. Number 3, I didn't know she played Catwoman.
Okay.
Zoe Kravitz.
She was in the Batman.
I already forgot about that movie.
You've seen it.
I have. I was pretty drunk, but I did rewatch it.
So, yeah.
Maybe I just didn't realize that was her. That's probably what it was.
She also was the voice in Lego Batman.
Right. I think I did know that for some weird.
No, she's number 2 on my list. I thought that I loved that incarnation of Catwoman. Of course, I love the whole world of Gotham in the Batman.
Yeah, you spoke very highly of the actual world of Gotham in that movie, how dark it was and
how right it was.
Yeah, correct to the books, I guess.
Yeah, my envisionment of Gotham through reading the comic books was basically what they showed on the film.
Zoe Kravitz, of course, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet.
Correct.
Man, they were just destined to have pretty kids, right? Like,
well, yeah.
I mean, Lisa Bonet, as hot as they come. Lenny Kravitz, you know what? He's a dude, but he's hot. I'll just say it. The dude wears leather pants when he goes to 7-Eleven to fill his car up with gas. So
because it's the only thing worth putting on his butt.
He does have a nice butt. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, I just was saying that. Never mind. I think you went farther than what I was willing to.
Oh, Colby, I know who their number 1 is now, because number 2 for them, Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar. That I have her at number 6. I actually had Eartha Kitt above her.
Okay.
So, and of course, I have a little bit fonder memory. Don't get me wrong. The Adam West Batman holds a lot of sway with me, but it was more of the campy and almost the White Knight era,
right,
that Adam West portrayed. And so it wasn't quite what I want my Batman to be, but I owe it respect.
But dude, she still is good looking. Like, I might still, Colby. I don't know how old she is.
Oh, she's way out of your age.
Well,
range.
this picture is from 2014 at Comic-Con. Golly, dude. Like, Colby.
Mm-hmm.
Can we stop the show for? I'm just kidding. And then number 1 on their list, I am Catwoman. Hear me roar. Michelle Pfeiffer, not Mekhi Pfeiffer.
Right.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
That is my number 1. And the main reason, it was the first time watching a movie. Batman Returns is heavily underrated as an all-time great Batman movie, because the casting of Danny DeVito as Penguin, Pfeiffer as Catwoman, all of that going on, along with, for the most of the time during that movie, Keaton was just Batman and he wasn't playing Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And it's been well documented that I think he played a wonderful Batman. I think he played a horrible Bruce Wayne. But that whole mix on the screen, that was great. Loved it. So, yeah. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Not a bad list, though, right? Even by your standards, like it kind of made sense a little bit.
I mean, they had Halle Berry near the bottom, and they had Michelle Pfeiffer at the top. Perfect. The only thing they missed was you have to give Batman animated series some respect.
Sure.
And so Adrienne Barbeau, who voiced Catwoman in that, and is the voice that if you're going to play Catwoman, you need to try and mimic everything that she was doing with it.
Right.
Because there was a little bit of ode to the Eartha Kitt Newmar, purr occasionally during conversation, but not overly done.
When did that air? That's the one that I started to watch, right?
Yeah, the Batman animated series.
From like the 90s?
Yes. Still.
Man, Adrienne Barbeau, by the way, still good looking.
That is, if you're a Batman fan or you think you want to be and you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing except for continue listening to this podcast. But as soon as it's over, go pull it up and start watching it.
Colby, I'm going to make a command decision here.
Okay, command away.
Because I wanted to tell you the story of Kayla Lemieux, but I'm going to push her until Monday's show because I found something better to talk about.
Okay.
Literally while we were doing the Catwoman.
Because it was like on the screen with the list.
Colby, it is the all 7 Joker actors ranked from worst to best.
Holy crap. All right.
So I thought, you know what? Let's have some fun with Joker.
Let's do it.
Kayla Lemieux can wait.
She sure can.
Probably not very long though. But
I did not have time to make a list, but I've
right, because I threw this at you.
I've got one in my head. So.
Colby, number 7. So their worst ranked Joker of the 7. And I agree, he's the worst Joker I have ever seen in my life. Jared Leto.
I see. I have the Snyder cut still glued in my head, and the back part of that was one of my favorite Joker scenes ever. So I'm gonna have to hear who else they've got in this 9 before I say he's definitely last.
Number 6 is my all-time favorite, Cesar Romero.
Again, the campiness and all that. And plus, they made Joker the stooge a lot of times to Riddler or anybody else. He was like the second-hand villain, and I did not like that placement. Even as a kid.
Because that's not true to the books.
That's not true.
Yeah.
If Joker's involved, Joker's in charge.
But as a kid who had never read a Batman comic book growing up in the 70s, when I watched the Batman, like, he was like my favorite character on the series was Cesar Romero's Joker. The fact that they got him to play him, I thought was equal to them getting Jack Nicholson to play him in 89. I mean, maybe one of the most famous actors on the planet coming in to do a comic book role.
Right.
You know?
No, I mean, it's great. Wish he would have shaved that mustache.
Dude, he wouldn't shave his mustache. They just make up over it.
You know what? That puts him below Leto because he wouldn't get rid of the mustache. That's it. He had bad placement in the villain hierarchy on that show, and also he wouldn't get rid of the mustache for the part, so Leto is above him just because.
It was so funny. Stupid mustache.
Painted mustache.
Number 5. I don't know if you've seen this yet. I told you to watch it. Joaquin Phoenix. Dude, it was really good. I know you said why you didn't want to watch it.
And it's later been described as Elseworlds, and so I understand that, it's nowhere near canon, so it's never going to be used as his actual backstory. I hate the fact that they gave Joker a backstory to this point because it's supposed to be a giant question mark.
Yeah.
And he's just an agent of chaos.
But see, I know you now pretty well, the kind of movies you like.
Right.
I swear to God, you would love this movie, dude.
If
you put all of that in the back of your skull and just enjoy the movie for what it's supposed to be.
It's one of those things that if I ever started it, I would walk all the way through it, but it's the starting it for me.
Yeah.
Because I very little times do I have bias against anything, but comic books and the way I think about them does make it. I mean, I've walked out of comic book movies when they screwed something up. Didn't even want to see the rest of it. So,
yep, I get it. But again, I really think you would love it. And I would love to hear your opinion of it because it took me forever to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it either, but for just completely different reasons.
Right.
I finally did, man. I was like, I'm going to, because I heard so many people talking about it. I didn't even know the whole backstory thing. You know, the dedication level that you have to all of this is way beyond mine. I have no dog in this fight. I've never read a Batman comic book.
Right.
My experience with Batman was Adam West and then Michael Keaton. I mean, that was it.
Right.
So from an entertainment value, though, God, it was really good. Number 4 on their list, Cameron Monaghan.
Okay. Really?
And that's from Gotham, I guess.
Yes. You know,
Yeah, number 4.
I mean, to put him, it was good. It was good. It always kept teasing you, like, is he really the Joker? Is he not? Is he really? Oh, he is. Oh, he's got to be. He wouldn't be this high on my list, but he, of course, would make it. So, yeah.
But no problem with it on their list.
No problem with it on their list. I'm waiting for me to have the problem.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
No.
This may be too low for this guy, or high, however you want to say it. Number 3 is Heath Ledger. Because you really like the Heath Ledger one, don't you?
I do. Really.
And I did too after I finally watched it, because you and I argued for a long time. I said, because I never liked Heath Ledger as an actor.
But you could almost not. He was not Heath Ledger in that.
No,
he was
absolutely.
He was the Joker, and so because of that, I mean, I can think of one guy that the one actor or one somebody that played Joker that I would put above Heath Ledger.
And I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of 2.
So of course, Jack Nicholson, number 2.
Yeah, he's not number. Heath is above Jack.
And for me, Jack's my second favorite Joker, behind, of course, Cesar Romero that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Heath Ledger's probably number 3 for me after finally watching that. And then I would put Joaquin Phoenix at number 4.
Okay.
I'm making my top 4 Jokers of all time. Because, again, I never watched the Batman animated series. And, of course, they have number 1, Colby.
Mark Hamill.
Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is my number 1. And if you're going to – and this is one thing that I wish that Jared Leto's Joker would have took upon him. Heath Ledger didn't have to do this. He didn't have to because of the way he played the character. He didn't have to have a signature laugh because it was just a darker, more humanized version of everything in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, which is cool. But the one thing that put Leto far down for me, and it wasn't the gangster look or the tattoos, it was that laugh of ha.
Yeah, his laugh was terrible.
And he actually said that he researched, because he's one of these guys that has to be the character 24/7.
Method actor, yeah.
Method actor.
Yep.
And so he kept walking up to people and just laughing, and that was the one that got the most shocked response, and so that's what he went with.
I thought it was horrible too. I didn't care for it.
But the Hamill Joker laugh is something that, if it's done in a dark situation, is an automatic just chill maker with the settings and all of that. And if you're going to play Joker, then, get the Hamill laugh down. Kind of like with Harley Quinn, how that Margot Robbie kind of played exactly like we know Harley Quinn from the animated series.
Yep.
This is the same thing. And it has to be, hold on as I remove my non-nicotine dip. It has to be one of those that's the laugh of
Mark.
That laugh is the one at the end of like any kind of scene that just throws you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Joker laugh. And that should always be done. Probably better than what I just did, but like that, because it's a build of the giggle, gurgle, like the craziness is coming out.
Right.
And then it just explodes. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And that was Mark Hamill.
Yeah. And you've always spoken very highly of him. And to be honest, till we met, I don't think I was aware he was ever doing that. Because again, I never watched it. So
yeah, I mean, you have
crazy.
To. It'll set you up. It was so accurate to the point that the times it wasn't accurate, it became accurate because the canon kind of changed.
Yeah.
Because of the public awareness of the animated series. So
nice. Well, there's your superhero comic book story magazine time for the day.
Basically, that was
fun.
That was a whole mystery shotgun segment.
Kind of was, wasn't it?
So,
maybe I'll post it as a mystery shotgun.
There you go.
Colby, do you like rain?
I mean, no. Usually when it rains, it's because either I want to get on the motorcycle or something. It's ruining something. Even in the times when somebody looks at you and goes, "Man, we needed this rain."
Is that just the dumbest weather talking? We need to get into that sometime. Weather, like meaningless weather chit chat in general for the human race.
It's annoying, but the person that starts off the conversation with, "Well, we really needed this rain." I mean, shut up.
Or looks like rain.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, those black clouds over our heads wasn't a good indicator. I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
Thanks. We had to always ask your knee if it's about to rain.
I have one of those.
My knee says it's going to rain. Well, so does the weatherman, but thanks. Appreciate it.
So do those black clouds in the sky.
So does the drops falling out of, appreciate it.
Well, Colby, residents in China.
Thanks, knee.
Were just advised to carry around umbrellas.
Uh-huh.
But not because it was going to rain water.
What?
Not because it was going to rain men. Hallelujah.
Okay.
But because scientists knew, a rain of worms was on the way.
Is this one of the plagues?
Right? Is the apocalypse happening?
What, worm rain?
So I would just like first here, as we get into the story, I'm going to put some pictures up on the screen, Colby.
Is this the second working of Sharknado?
Tell me what happens to you. What happens to Colby when he walks out of his apartment, goes out to the parking lot to get in his car, and he sees this?
Oh, those birds were happy after they got done.
Colby's car is covered in worms.
Worm rain. Those things fell from the sky. Imagine being outside and trying to dodge a worming. I don't understand. That is no, because
isn't that insane?
You know somebody got a worm to the mouth.
Oh, I guarantee it.
No.
So, citizens of the Chinese province of Lao.
That's not. We apologize to the province of Lao.
I just spoke Chinese, Colby.
No, you didn't.
Is that Mandarin, I wonder?
I mean, if it was an orange.
We're advised to seek shelter.
Really?
As it looked like it was about to rain worms.
Who forecasted that? How did it happen? I want to see the weather guy going.
Looks like worms.
Was it a different color on the map? You know, it wasn't red or whatever, or the light yellow. No, it was like what, dirt colored?
Worm colored.
What?
A viral video clip
No.
showed the area. Apparently, I don't have the video, dang it. Showed the area being showered with worms that were then splattering all over cars.
Well, right, because if they're falling from the impact, they were making noises. Can you imagine trying to drive in that? Your windshield wipers trying to remove
they'd
worms?
be useless. Worm guts everywhere.
No.
The video showed residents covering themselves with umbrellas as they go along their normal routines and wander around.
Nothing normal when it's raining worms. I'm sorry. I would be calling into work and somebody would ask me why I'm not showing up, and I'd be like, duh, it's worms outside.
Do you want to know the worst part of this, Colby?
It's not the worst part. It's already been told.
They don't know why it happened.
So it is the apocalypse.
The cause of the slimy creature calamity has yet to be uncovered, but the scientific journal Mother Nature Network suggested that the animals, are worms animals?
Okay.
I mean, I guess.
Sure.
Suggested that they were dropped after being swept up by high winds.
But that many, okay. first of all, in what area is that many worms just hanging out, just ready to be picked up? Because that was a lot. And how long did the worm rain last? Was it like a quick wormy shower, or was it, an hour's worth of worm damage? How do you call your insurance company about that? What do you say to them?
A worm hit my car.
No, a bunch of worms. What is a group of worms called, by the way? These are all questions for the internet.
No idea.
Because you got to be correct when speaking to the insurance company. That's nuts. I feel like this is some kind of weekly world news bit right now.
Like, what did China do to deserve this plague? Is it because they're communists?
Yeah. Jesus hates commies.
Jesus hates commies. Need that on a t-shirt. It's our next Fan Stream Sports t-shirt, Colby.
That is.
Jesus hates commies.
To be worn by nobody. Man, I couldn't.
I'd wear it.
I mean, yeah, but you really counting that list of people I already listed.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Idiots.
No, I just said nobody.
Nobodies. Oh, God.
Now let's say this. When I lived in Malaysia, at night, these big, like huge flies is basically what I know them as.
Yeah.
Would lose their ability to see at night, but they'd still be flying around and they would bombard your house.
Oh, that's terrible.
And so it basically flies like this.
Right.
Like the size of, I don't know, like 2 baseballs put together.
Wow.
And you would occasionally have them just hitting your house, kind of like hail.
Thud.
And so I've been in a fly rain before, giant fly rain, but man, the worms sound worse, mainly because you just didn't go outside when the flies lost their sight.
I mean, I'd be out. Like, I'm moving. I'm moving. I don't know if they let you move out of China because they pretty much control everything you do. But
right.
I would move. I would find a way. I would tunnel. I would tunnel to Egypt.
We're going under that wall.
So I would go from China to the country that really was plagued. I would just go to Egypt.
Right.
That was a terrible decision on my part.
That's where the weather came from. It's just moved a little bit.
Horrible decision on my part. Colby, I saw an interesting story as well. Have you ever used a fertility clinic?
I have never used a fertility clinic.
Because you're pretty fertile, right?
I mean, yeah. If I wanted to make baby, I guess I'd just make baby.
Colby, have you ever experimented with vibrating anal beads?
No.
So, I guess part of it, and I haven't either, because I'm fertile myrtle when it comes to crap like that.
Obviously, you got 14 kids.
Probably need to get that looked at some point. But I know part of the attraction for fertility clinics, especially if you're, I guess, using, picking and choosing like an egg, like from an egg donor,
right?
You get to kind of pick what they think it would look like or something, based on the parent or based on the mother, I guess. I don't know how that works, but you're supposed to be able to pick something, right?
Yeah. You basically, you get a lot of the information about this person. You don't get their name or anything like that, but you get, okay, they're this tall, they weigh this much. They have this kind of, their IQ score is blah,
right.
And so you get a little bit of that to choose from.
Well, Colby, it can also go wrong.
Oh, dear.
As a Southern California, first of all, here's the problem. Yeah. They're in California.
SoCal, what's up?
Southern California couple is suing a fertility clinic.
Okay.
For fraudulent concealment, claiming they mistakenly transferred an embryo carrying a rare stomach cancer gene. Ooh. And then falsified patient records to cover it up. So this couple claims their young son now faces the potential of stomach cancer or possible stomach surgery to avoid the rare cancer. They filed a suit in Los Angeles on Wednesday against Huntington Reproductive Center Medical Group. They should just shorten that to HRC, I think.
Right.
The couple's doctor, an IVF, I guess that stands for in vitro fertilizer. I don't know.
We'll go with what you said.
Coordinator are also named as defendants. The genetic mutation makes the mother prone to breast and ovarian cancer.
Okay.
Her husband, Jason, has a rare mutation that is predisposed to him to stomach cancer, which he did eventually develop when he was 32. He then underwent stomach surgery and chemotherapy, according to the lawsuit. When the couple chose to start a family, they sought out in vitro fertilization and genetic testing for their embryos to ensure the mutations were not passed on to their children.
Oh.
So they're trying to cook a baby.
Yeah, they're trying to eliminate the possibilities of bad stuff.
Yeah, or limit it, which you would, right? I mean, if you have that capability.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cancer runs in my family for sure. My mother died of breast cancer. My dad didn't die of cancer, but he had melanoma a lot throughout his life. So if technology exists and you're going to have kids and they can say, hey, we can at least limit it, right? Like,
right.
Why would you not take advantage of that? I don't have a problem with that.
No.
So their first embryo transfer in August 2020 was free of both genetic mutations. However, that pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. With the understanding that one of their male embryos carried only one of the genes, which is linked to a less risk for men than for women, they opted to move forward with a second embryo transfer, resulting in a successful pregnancy and birth of a boy who is now a year old. When the couple was planning to expand their family again, Melissa said she reached out to the facility, requested a copy of her embryo report. She says that she was surprised to see handwritten notes that indicated the embryo carried the stomach cancer mutation.
Ooh.
So somebody hand wrote on the deal, thinking, of course, they're never going to see it, that the embryo contained the cancer gene.
Okay.
So she found out. They would never know.
No, they wouldn't have. But, hopefully never knew. Like, it never actually came to a full anything, and it was just the percentage chance was there, but it never came to fruition or whatever. That's the first hope. But the second thing, though, is getting that note and then looking at it. That I can see the level of festivity that would happen that would cause you to be like, look, we specifically went to you guys with the only true thing that we wanted to have happen with this was just please make sure that our kid doesn't have this. Any other unforeseen things that happen, but we know this could happen. Is there any way that this could not happen? And the people at the clinic were like, yeah, we can make sure that doesn't happen. And now it has.
This falls under the category of you had one job.
Right. This is one of those, this is like the other side. So how pissed you get when you go to a drive-through and you order something and like, you're like specifically saying like my daughter Blaze does not want mayonnaise.
Right.
That's the only thing. She does not want mayonnaise on whatever she's getting.
Or she's deathly allergic to mayonnaise.
Right. Well, hers is just, she doesn't want mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. And she is the one, like I, at more times when I've ordered stuff with her, have gotten something that was specifically ordered for me that didn't have mayonnaise more times than she's gotten something that didn't have mayonnaise. And she specifically orders no mayonnaise and it hardly ever gets corrected. But this is you spent time and the money and you placed your order for a kid not to have this mutation gene. That's your only requirement. And you screwed it up.
And you messed it up.
And also you're probably getting paid more than the guy that just went ahead and squirted the mayonnaise on something. Don't mark that.
Mark. Already did. So yeah, the lawsuit includes two versions of the embryo records and alleges the facility attempted to hide the truth. They're suing the clinic for fraudulent concealment and a violation of California's unfair competition law, and they're separately arbitrating their claim around transferring the wrong embryo.
Well, I mean,
they're going to win that one for sure.
They're probably going to win that, But the other side of it is that's about all because I mean, kid's a year old. It's not like you're going to be like, all right, yeah, take the kid back too. And now you just rolling dice and hope that nothing happens with it, which is what most people do when they decide to have a kid and they don't get any of these tests or anything done. And they like, here, let's have a baby.
It's insane. Anyway, you ready, Colby?
I mean, I can be. I am.
Or do you want to wait?
No, I mean, I've got stuff right here. You ready to go?
Because I can go over the 25 greatest Gotham villains of all time.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We can save that for another time.
All right, we'll do that another time.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Thank you, me, for making it sound good. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internet.
And by God, I found it. Let's go to Buffalo, New York, where, well, the Diocese of Buffalo actually placed one of their monsignors.
Monsignor.
Yeah, they placed him on leave for the second time. So it seems that this guy, there's claims and charges against him for indecency with a child, which after the first time, I don't think there would have been a second time. But especially when you're talking about Monsignor Peter J. Papadick. I am not kidding. His name is Peter J. Papadick. I mean, the first name being Peter is enough. His last name being Papadick. I mean, that's a great band name. That is not a great name for your Catholic priest.
A human being.
You're just... He was never going to be like Archbishop Papadick.
No, that will never. Or Pope.
Yeah.
Pope Papadick.
Pope Papadick. I mean, you keep saying that people shouldn't mess with their names and whatever. This guy should have changed. His name.
If he becomes Pope, I'm totally turning Catholic.
Pope
Papadick.
This will be the second time. No, whatever times now, but he's placed on leave again for messing with a kid.
Sounds like he's right in line to be Pope.
So, yeah, I mean, watch out for people's names. It might tell you something a little bit about them. Are you clapping and rim-shotting?
I did, for my own joke.
So, during my search of news and notes, I somehow made my way to goodhousekeeping.com.
I bet you've never done that before.
Actually, some of the weirder stories that I've ever had came from Good House.
Is that right?
Yes.
Lord.
So, while perusing goodhousekeeping.com, I came across this title, which made me go, what? The title is, "A Catastrophic Mutating Event Will Strike the World in 2 years," reports say.
Oh, God.
Again, I'm at goodhousekeeping.com, which I don't know why I just went ahead and went radio DJ on
You did.
.com, but
On your FM dial.
.com.
We play the hits.
Yeah, we do. Hello and welcome to Movie Phone, brought to you by 106.1 Kiss FM.
Movie Phone.
In a world where economic forum reports.
In a world where we have Pope Papadick.
Yes. So a World Economic Forum report says that business leaders believe that a catastrophic cyber event is coming. Cybercrime will grow from a $3 trillion industry in 2015 to a $10.5 trillion industry by 2025. So that's where all the money's being made. It's on the internet. And apparently the catastrophic mutating event is going to come from the people behind like the internet commercials and, like putting stuff on your Facebook feed that you may have mentioned about, are going to unlock how your brain works and basically be able to control you into buying things. which will cause, according to goodhousekeeping.com, we need more lemon pledge, will cause this mutating event. So basically, Good Housekeeping is telling us that internet ads are going to turn us all into mutants. So I'm kind of hoping I get mutant power. If I were to get one of them, I would want to be Mystique.
Which one was Mystique?
Mystique has the power to look and turn into anybody.
Oh, that's right.
So I think that would be
That would be the coolest.
Yeah, mainly because just show up anywhere as any random celebrity. And it's not to
You would bang all the chicks.
not to besmirch their name. Of course, if I could turn into a chick, I don't think I'd leave the house.
I would never. If I had boobs like that, I would never leave the house.
Just because they'd be boobs like any boobs you want. So I don't know. Now that I think about that, I may just never leave.
So if you have that power and you want to turn into Brad Pitt,
Yeah,
do you also get Brad Pitt's dong?
you get yes.
I mean, how does it know what? How do you know though? How do you know what Brad Pitt's dong looks like?
I don't know how the mutation works. Okay, sir.
Huh.
I don't know
Well,
if
you're
maybe
the expert here.
maybe you have to look at it. See, here's the thing about comics. They usually don't go into that far the nakedness. Like she could look like Wolverine, but she wouldn't have his powers. She couldn't regenerate or whatever.
So you'd still have Colby dong, but Brad Pitt's body, presumably.
But here's the other side of it is that if you knew what somebody else's, you could make your dong look like somebody else's dong. If you knew what that dong, in other words, you could make your dong look like a dong that you wanted it to be.
You could be Dirk Diggler.
You could dong out, man.
You could totally dong out.
I mean, if you can turn your Audi into an innie, because obviously that's a thing too, right? Then yeah, I don't know how we got here.
To Dong Talk.
Welcome
to Dong Talk.
Thank you, Good Housekeeping. We need more lemon pledge. So there's that. Let's go from there to Colombia, where the Colombian Navy said it intercepted an illegal submarine ship that was transporting 2,643 kilograms of cocaine.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of cocaine.
I couldn't do all that. I mean,
according to a statement from the authorities, the cocaine is valued at over $87 million, which that's still cop math, but that's still a lot of cocaine. It's probably not $87 million worth of cocaine, but you can probably say half of that.
That's a lot.
There was probably 40 something million dollars worth of cocaine if you were to undo the cop math. So the military entered the boat approximately, it was 15 meters long. I hate that it's Colombian because none of these measurements make sense. And
wait, how many meters?
15.
45, 50 feet.
And found two bodies on board and two people who were in poor health. Yeah, because all they had to consume was cocaine. Because there was obviously not any other room left on that boat except for cocaine.
Cocaine.
So,
are we saying it like cocaine?
Cocaine?
Like baboon?
Baboon. But still, $87 million worth of cocaine.
Weren't we going to call our listeners baboons?
Baboons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hello, all you baboons.
Baboons. It's not baboon.
It's baboon.
It's baboons.
Doing cocaine.
Yes, exactly.
Cocaine bear.
You know what? Before we do anything else, I do want to go to the new monument for firemen that was put up in honor of firemen, and they made a statue.
Oh, please tell me I did that.
I hope you did. Please tell me you downloaded that. I mean, I can do another story, I guess.
I mean, I did something with it. What did I do with it?
While he's doing that, let's go to Phoenix real quick. As Phoenix police say, a suspicious person who barricaded himself in a Phoenix Quick Trip store and then began setting small fires inside the building early Tuesday is passed.
Oh.
So the incident started around 2 a.m. near Interstate 17 and Cactus Road when police and Arizona Department of Public Safety troopers responded to reports of a person that was on the freeway. So as they showed up to find the person that was just kind of loitering along the freeway, which that's a bad place to loiter.
Right.
They tried to make contact with him.
Because that's Dwayne Haskins.
To get him to safety, but he fled. He ran away from the cops and made it to a Quick Trip, which he then locked himself inside, barricaded himself. So I just want to stop for a second. So there was a guy that was walking on the freeway, and people called in and said, hey, there's this guy just kind of walking along the freeway. He's going to get hurt. We need somebody out here. So cops show up and get close enough to him to hail him to say, hey, come with us to safety, to which he starts running, to which then he runs from the cops that are obviously in vehicles and gets far enough away that he's able to make it inside a Quick Trip and then barricade himself inside the Quick Trip. By the way, also time enough for the people that were inside the Quick Trip had the ability to get out of the Quick Trip before because he's setting small fires and stuff. And obviously people's not there to try and stop him. And then he ended up, dying from his small fire injuries. The question I have is how the hell did it take you guys that long to get to the Quick Trip? You seen him, you hailed him, you tried to get him to stop, and he ran on foot. I don't know the story. I'm just reading the story. But that question immediately follows is how the hell did that happen? I'm thinking if I am put in that spot and I see him go into a store, I'm probably right behind him and I'm probably walking in right behind him. I'm thinking, but I guess I had to be there.
Right.
So there's that.
I'm ready.
You are ready. Okay. So there's been a statue, a monument put up, and it's supposed to be in honor of the firefighters that passed away in 9/11. And so my only ask is that when you're building this monument, you're building this statue, that you look at it from all angles before you go ahead and say, let's pull the curtain away and let's let it be out there for everyone to see. Because just in case you don't, there might be an angle that looks like this.
Colby.
This is behind the monument. This is what you see. This is not just some kind of weird angle. This is if you were to walk behind the monument, which, by the way, you can tell it has brick access way. So you'll be able to circle this whole monument.
Colby.
So that's a fireman that's in the middle. But somebody really didn't make the back of the fireman look like a fireman.
Wow.
That's a penis.
It is a penis.
That is a circumcised unit.
Heavily circumcised.
In between the Twin Towers.
Wow.
I don't know what else to say.
Someone did not think that through clearly.
I'm hoping so, and I'm hoping that the guy, the person that made this didn't go, some of these firefighters really made me mad.
Dicks.
Right?
Wow. There must have been a policeman that made this.
Maybe. But again,
wow.
Please look at your statue that you're leaving like an ode to from all angles, because schools are going to come visit this and they're going to walk away laughing.
Hey, why does that monument look like my dad?
Right.
When we take showers.
Oh dear.
Little Billy?
Yeah.
Take showers with your dad still? You're in high school.
And are you Papa Dick?
Oh, Papa Dick.
So there's that. And finally, This is in the Daily Mail, so take as much of it as you can and leave whatever you don't want. American spy on secondment to GCHQ was stabbed by an alleged terrorist just 3 miles from the Cheltenham headquarters, which caused me to have questions. Tim, do we still have spies out there?
Oh, there's no question.
And because I understood, the reason for needing spies but now with the internet, you can pretty much be here and spy on whoever you want to. But we still have them on foot doing stuff. And you got close enough to an alleged terrorist, which I'm guessing, yes, they were, if they wanted to stab the American spy. How do you become American? Is it just the CIA? You're just part of this somehow, and you get, all of a sudden all of your stuff gets redacted, and like you're not a part of the world anymore, and
you're erased.
You're now a spy. So like Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up, and you're in WITSEC.
Yeah,
you're erased. Anybody gets that? You've seen that movie?
Seen the movie.
I appreciate you. I really do. So don't be a spy if you're due. I don't know what the moral is, but I just was amazed that we still had spies. But mainly, don't build monuments the shapes of penises.
No,
that's the motto of tonight's news and notes.
And don't be a spy.
And don't be a spy, and watch out for Papa Dick.
Or if you are a spy, don't be a spy with a penis.
I mean, she was a she.
That's still. Colby, this is 2023. Women can have penises too.
That's news and notes, everybody.
Thank God. We are the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show here on FanStream Sports. We appreciate everybody that's made this one possible. First of all, FanStream Sports, DSP Media, Turflife.club. You guys go check out Turflife.club. Get yourself some of them fancy shorts, shirt, window decal, stickers. It's not a clothing brand. It's a lifestyle brand. Also, our good friends over at Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. The March issue will be out very, very shortly. And Colby, we're in it.
We're in it.
We're in it. Our show has a feature in Golf Central Magazine, if you can believe it.
Okay, that's stupid. That is stupid, because if you would have told like teenage Colby that, hey, when you're in your 40s, you're going to be in a Golf Central magazine as a feature, I would have called you stupid then, and also wondered, I'm not good at golf now.
What part of my life has gone horribly wrong?
Right. Or horribly right.
Or right. You never know.
Maybe you should go check it out, just because you can say you did.
And of course, our friends over at Highlands Performance Golf Center, HighlandsPGC.com here in North Dallas. If you like to practice golf, go practice it over there. They got lots of good stuff for you.
Holy crap.
So we appreciate those boys. What happened? Do we have breaking news?
Well, kind of. T-Mobile buys the Mint Mobile from Ryan Reynolds for $1.35 billion. Talk about a guy just having have more good life.
Van Wilder is a billionaire.
Yep.
Who saw that coming? Not me. I was Van Wilder in college.
I imagine you were.
Without a dad with all the money.
Right.
So, yes, we will be back on Monday with some more Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.